Oh no, they stomped on Bambi.
Chris Hemsworth doesn't take steroids.
Okay, sure.
It's all natural.
Yeah.
He's on the National Geographic channel, man. They don't take drugs there.
Oh no, they stomped on Bambi.
This podcast is not suitable for children or those who are easily disturbed.
Oh no, they stomped on Bambi.
Spoiler warning for whatever is in the title of this episode.
And now for the obligatory socials. Please like, share and subscribe. Follow Daniel at DStarSick on Twitter. Follow Ryan at Darth Damio on the Bluebird app. You can find the podcast on Twitter at HorrorPod69. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Slasher and Goodreads. Become part of the Disturbed community by asking for the Facebook group and Discord links. Send dick pics to the Horror of Babylon podcast at gmail.com. Support the show at patreon.com/the Horror of Babylon. In closing, you can let your friends know that The Horror of Babylon is available on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Audible and all other major podcast apps.
Oh no, they stomped on Bambi. 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 Oh no, they stomped on Bambi.
Welcome to a very special bonus episode of The Horror of Babylon, where we are discussing Bambi meets Godzilla and Godzilla vs. Bambi, the movie. I am Ryan, and with me as always is Daniel. Say hi, Daniel.
Oh no, they stomped on Bambi.
And we say a very special thank you to our patrons, including Abigail the First, Breaker of Chains, Mother of Dragons, and
Logan,
the Full Metal Patron. And this episode specifically is brought to you by our $19 tier patron, Four Horsemen Comics and Gaming, which you can visit at the Morgantown Mall in Morgantown, West Virginia, or the Mall at Robinson in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And this episode was chosen by Ronald III, the true Grampus of Christmas. You said you have seen it. Actually, let me explain a little more. Ronald actually chose Godzilla vs. Bambi, the movie from 2020, which is a sequel to Bambi Meets Godzilla from 1969.
Yeah.
And we decided if we're going to do an episode on Godzilla vs. Bambi...
Oh no, they stomped on Bambi.
We might as well also cover Bambi Meets Godzilla, the original film. You said you had seen this before, correct?
Yeah, and I believe it's Godzilla in 1989 is what it was called in America. They played it at the beginning of the VHS tape, and I used to rent that movie ad nauseum on repeat. Mm-hmm. And I'd never fast-forwarded past Godzilla stomping on Bambi.
No.
As a kid, I was kind of confused by it. I'm like, I wonder why they did that.
Why did they kill Bambi?
It wasn't even that. Just like, seems weird.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
It is weird.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it's not weird. We had several Godzilla movies on VHS that my brother and I watched, and I can't tell you specifically if I had seen this or not as a kid.
Yeah.
But when Ron recommended it and we pulled it up on YouTube and watched it, I couldn't specifically remember watching it, though I definitely had heard about it before. May have also seen it in high school on YouTube when YouTube was just like getting big and there was like a handful of, kind of the Charlie the Unicorn era of YouTube.
The vampire's a pure myth, superstition. I may be able to bring you proof
They stomped on Bambi.
that the superstition of yesterday can become the scientific reality of today.
Okay, so background, we're going to cover our first film, which is Bambi Meets Godzilla, which is actually a student film that was produced in 1969, made entirely by Marv Newland. Supposedly, this entire film was made for $300. Okay. It's listed as number 38 in the 50 Greatest Cartoons from 1994, which was a book written by animation historian Jerry Beck. And the Academy Film Archive has preserved Bambi Meets Godzilla. In 1973, Bambi Meets Godzilla began a run as a cartoon in theaters. You know, they used to show cartoons before movies in theaters.
Yeah.
And it did that for years. The short was included in the VHS home video release of Godzilla.
1985,
like you said. It has been parodied and had countless sequels and remakes, just a few of them. In 1976, there was a black and white sequel called Bambi's Revenge. In 1999, there was a 3D animated color sequel called Son of Bambi Meets Godzilla. And in 2013, there was a meticulous frame-by-frame recreation of the original that was made by animator Coda Gardner. And we, later in this episode, will be talking about the 2020 sequel, Godzilla vs. Bambi, the movie. General discussion on Bambi Meets Godzilla. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I think it's really funny. Like, whoever came up with the idea.
Marv Newland?
Yeah,
well, maybe.
Just sitting around going, Bambi meets Godzilla.
How would that fight go down?
Exactly how it should.
I imagine the kids in Stand By Me who are sitting around the campfire arguing who would win in a fight between Superman and Mighty Mouse. Marv Newland doing a similar thing, like, who would win in a fight between Godzilla and Bambi?
In college, I had to take one of those, like, mandatory art classes.
Mm-hmm.
And the professor had, like, a picture of a frog, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, okay, here's a frog. It's in this pose. What happens next? And so I drew a boot just smashing down and blood going everywhere.
Nice.
And he brought that up in the following class. You know, somebody just drew a boot falling down on this frog, and its pieces going everywhere. I thought that was kind of funny. I'll never forget that. I was like, and I did that 100% because of Bambi
versus
Godzilla.
Yeah. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I think the significant thing about this is that it was made by one person.
Yeah.
It cost basically no money to make. Just to imagine, like, the number of eyeballs that have watched this short cartoon is just kind of astounding to me.
They've preserved it.
Yeah, the Academy, the most pretentious people in Hollywood, thought this was good enough for preservation. Have any actual Godzilla movies been preserved by the Academy? Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know. I just watch Godzilla movies. I don't know a lot about their, like, film history most of the time. I just like to watch giant monsters smash into each other.
Okay, so we're pulling up the Academy Film Archive. So, okay, we didn't go super deep, but as far as we can tell, none of the other Godzilla films have been preserved by the Academy, which is a shame.
Yeah.
Because they're good movies.
I think they're important movies. At least the first, like, Gojira movie is really important.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if they don't make an effort to, save all 30 whatever of them, but
yeah,
at least, the original and maybe a couple notable ones after that.
Yeah, like Godzilla vs. Kong.
Yeah. How would you love to, like, make, like, this small little student film project that goes and actually becomes like a cartoon?
Oh no, they stomped on Bambi.
That is played before audiences prior to movies in theaters.
Something like that sounds amazing. That's the dream. I mean, I guess the dream is to get, like, become a director or something, but
I don't know, but my guess is that Marv Newland probably didn't actually make any money off of this.
Yeah.
I don't know, though. Probably something that should have been looked up beforehand, but whatever.
Yeah, it's fine.
And I also just wanted to mention, I think, like, the funniest part of it to me isn't actually Godzilla stomping on Bambi, it's the credits.
Oh, how much they play.
Yeah.
And that keeps going on.
So it's like, directed by Marv Newland, screenplay by Marv Newland, produced by Marv Newland, and just keeps going and going.
I think that Marv here had a great sense of comedic timing.
Yeah. I think, I can't remember for sure, but I think there's one that says choreography by Marv.
They brought up costumes.
Yeah, it's super funny.
Yeah, I remember you specifically laughing about costumes.
And there's also a note at the end of it acknowledging the city of Tokyo or something like that. If you've never seen this, just look it up on YouTube. It's free to watch on there. Just Bambi Meets Godzilla, the original. Super funny. Okay, so moving on to Godzilla vs. Bambi, the movie.
The movie.
Which was the actual film that was requested by Four Horsemen Comics. It is a 2020 short film produced by Progress Pictures and released on the Kaijutopia YouTube channel. So if you want to see it, just go to YouTube, Godzilla vs. Bambi the movie on Kaijutopia. We watched this when Ron first requested it, and then I rewatched it yesterday, I think.
Because it was just so short, we could just sit there and watch it.
Yeah. What are your thoughts?
I actually really liked it. I was like, oh, this is kind of fun. Like, somebody went, how do I take that, like, original idea and just expand on it? And they went, Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. Basically, Godzilla stomps on Bambi, and then Bambi goes, like, Hulk, and, like, grows to Godzilla's size and grows, and also matures and becomes a fully mature deer.
Horns.
Gets his antlers.
Yeah.
And he also has, like, a green radiation glow around him, and his eyes are like flaring green, and he basically puts Godzilla in his place until Godzilla grabs Bambi's mom, takes her hostage, and threatens to kill her, and then that ends the fight.
Yeah, he's like, hey man, don't want nothing to happen to her, do you?
Yeah, it would be terrible if your mom died, Bambi.
It was really sad when they stopped drawing the deer.
Oh, it was so sad. Oh, poor Bambi. So Bambi was like my movie when I was like 2 to 3 years old. Like every kid that age has like a movie that they play constantly for no end, like every day for no reason. Mm-hmm. Bambi was actually my movie that I drove my parents nuts with.
I bet you're excited for the Bambi horror movie.
No, I mean...
Yeah, no, not now.
I might have been at one point. I think there's potential there to make a good Bambi horror movie.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Saturday Night Live Bambi?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one's pretty good too. With Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Was that The Rock?
Pretty sure it's The Rock.
You're probably right. I know it was a big dude.
It was a big dude with muscles.
Yeah. My Saturday Night Live memory is not as good as, like...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely The Rock.
It's 3 minutes. Hold on. We're gonna pause it.
Please hold while the guys look this up on YouTube.
Yeah, we just watched SNL Bambi, so that's pretty funny.
Yeah, it was okay. Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Yeah, so we're checking out. Yeah, I liked Godzilla versus Bambi.
It's better than Valerian. I mean, it didn't have as much incest, but...
Yeah, I think the incest puts Valerian over the top for me.
Yeah.
I already ranked these, and I think I put it under Valerian. Just, cool aliens and Wincest.
Yeah.
I'm all about those sexually active twins. It's just kind of my thing, Yo. But yeah, no, it's fun.
Yeah, like, it's creative.
It's not as memorable or significant as the original, obviously, but it's, no one expects it to be.
Yeah.
If you're making your own version of Bambi Meets Godzilla, nobody's expecting you to do better.
I would kind of like to do it, for us to do our own Godzilla versus Bambi, but to do it in, like, stupid costumes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, too. You could be Godzilla, and I'll be Bambi.
Okay.
And you can make, like, a "Are you horny" joke.
Yeah.
I'm so horny. And it can just be full of dumb puns, like, oh, I'm supposed to meet Godzilla at the battleground. I'm running late. I better hoof it.
We could play it like a Rocky movie and be in a boxing ring.
Or, the Lonely Island Rocky song?
Yeah.
So we could do that, except, I'm Bambi, and I'm, like, challenging Godzilla.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that would be actually really funny.
Let's add that to our stretch goals.
Yeah, that's being added to the stretch goals, for sure.
We just did a stretch goal list today, so...
Oh my god, are you Stephen King? No, I'm Dean Koontz. Oh.
Oh no, they stomped on
Dean Koontz.
Kings and Koontz overall for both movies. My king for the original is the credits. I think they're They're so funny.
Yeah, the same.
And then King for the newer one is just like the production. Like, I thought the most interesting part about Godzilla versus Bambi the movie was I want them to make a second video just showing, like how they made it. Because I think that would be actually more interesting, more entertaining than the movie itself.
My king was when Godzilla stomped on Bambi, and then I realized, hey, there's still like all these minutes left. And then Godzilla's foot starts to rise.
Oh no! My Koontz for the new one is I'm pretty sure they used horse sound effects for Bambi.
I don't know what sounds deer make.
I mean, I could be wrong, but it really sounds like a horse to me.
I've heard that they yule, and I don't know what that means.
What is a yule?
Yeah, I've been told that's the sound they make.
I know Yule like Yule Tide.
Yeah.
Do they like sing Christmas songs?
Maybe that's where it comes from.
And I don't have a Koontz for the original.
Yeah, I don't really...
Anything I could think of would just be totally nitpicking.
Oh no, they stomped on Bambi. Yeah. I guess our Koontz is, we think he should have been paid more.
Yeah, I googled it really quick, and I can't really find anything about him making money. So he should have made some amount of money.
Yeah.
I don't think he needed to be a billionaire because of it, but he.
I mean, it's been preserved by the Academy, so
yeah. They know what they're doing. They make good decisions all the time.
Are we at homework?
Ranking real quick.
Ranking and then homework. Okay.
And I've already done mine. I have. Well, no, I don't. I was just typing it in.
You put it at number 1.
No.
Over at 1990.
No, I didn't. Okay, I put it. It's almost directly in the middle, below Frankenstein 1910, and just above Mermaid Forest 2003, which is the anime series.
That's fair.
Yeah, because I kind of put it at like the bottom of the good stuff.
It is like in that like sort of like short film range with Frankenstein 1910.
Yeah.
And it's above like other animated stuff with Mermaid Forest.
And then Godzilla vs. Bambi, the movie, I put above All That You Love Will Be Carried Away and Roar. I mean, not because I like think it's bad, but just like, All That You Love Will Be Carried Away. I'm not going to think about Godzilla vs. Bambi, the movie, again and again. I'm going to probably forgot I watched this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really towards the bottom of the list more for significance reasons for me rather than enjoyment reasons.
All right.
Okay, so
first, the short one. God, I think we might be putting it in a similar spot. I'm going to put it above Frankenstein 1910.
Ooh, you liked it a little more.
Yeah, I probably because I'm super nostalgic for it. Yeah. I just remember watching it all the time.
And then the new one. And don't forget, these lists are posted in our Discord page, which you can join and you can look at our rankings there.
I'm going to put it above... Gosh.
You said it was better than Valerian.
It's definitely better. I think.
Is it better than It Chapter 2?
Yes. It's better than Firestarter.
Is it better than Gyo?
I think some of the absurdity in Go was more fun. I don't think it's a good adaptation. I'm going to put it right below Gyo.
All right, cool. So that's where it is. I update the rankings every day that I post a new episode. So if you're curious about our full list, just join the Discord and click on the rankings channel, and it's all right there. But now we are moving on to homework. Our homework question is top 5 non-kaiju you want to see fight Godzilla. And I'm going to have you go first.
Let me pull up my list. Oh no, they stomped on Bambi. Okay, so I know I'm going to pronounce his name wrong because it's been so long since I've actually watched Gundam.
Ben Solo?
Gundam Wing. Hiro
Yui?
Hiro Yui.
Yeah.
Is going to fight Godzilla without his Gundam.
If any non-powered human stood some kind of a chance,
yeah,
it might be him.
He has a chance to get to it, but it's behind Godzilla.
Okay. I've seen him do some pretty crazy stuff. He, in the early part of the series, he self-destructs his Gundam while he's standing on the,
Yeah.
Yeah, so he survives that. Maybe.
Okay. I'm pretty basic when it comes to my Gundam. I'm a big fanboy of Wing, so...
Yeah. No, Wing is great.
Daniel had his list prepared.
All right, go ahead and do your list.
Okay, my number 4. Ryan, there's 2 things I don't think you know about. One's Godzilla, and the other is the power of friendship. the elements of harmony combine to face Godzilla and his mighty kaiju powers. Twilight Sparkle leads the charge against Godzilla.
She could probably beat him.
Yeah.
The five of them.
The five-
Is it
the
five
five-
or is it, no, it's six.
Yeah, the six of them.
Six, because there's two of each.
Yeah, they're gonna unite, protect that Equestria's.
There was like 2 weeks where Drake was obsessed with My Little Pony, but only for Spike. If Spike wasn't on the screen, he didn't care. And then, like, after 2 weeks, he was over it. He didn't want to watch the show at all.
So I imagine what happens is Godzilla steps on Spike.
No, he's a baby dragon.
Oh no, they stomped on Spike. And Twilight goes Super Pony.
My theory is that for 2 weeks, he thought Spike was Spyro, and then he figured out that he's not Spyro, and lost interest.
Spyro would have been a good answer.
Spyro's my first one.
Spyro's your number 5.
Spyro's my number 5.
All right.
And Sparks. He gets to have Sparks, too.
I have 2 more questions, Ryan.
Okay.
Is that Godzilla's purse? And does he know him? Bobby Hill versus Godzilla.
Bobby will die. Bobby will die. Hank cannot save him from this. Although, I would like to watch Peggy try.
Does Godzilla have testicles? Is the question.
They go back to visit Hank's brother, who makes robots and robot accessories. And Tokyo is attacked by Godzilla. And Bobby was influenced by a cult that worships Godzilla, and he literally stood next to one of their members by 2 minutes and wasn't indoctrinated like he does with every single other thing, because
Okay.
Bobby has no willpower of his own. And the cult goes to worship Godzilla, and all the cult dies except for Bobby. And then, like, Peggy has been chasing him, and Peggy goes to save him, and then she dies.
Because you just want Peggy to die.
I don't. I mean, I hate her, but like, she's part of the reason the show is funny. So
Yeah.
okay, I'm sorry. Go on.
My last 2 are a little bit more serious.
Okay.
The powers of darkness unite. Dracula versus Godzilla. He pulls all of the creatures of the night and his vampire, I can control the weather powers against Godzilla.
I like it.
Yeah. I feel like that could actually be a comic book.
Yeah. No,
Like
okay.
he's trying to get control of Godzilla.
I wouldn't be shocked if there is a crossover. Well, maybe that'll be what we do when Godzilla goes in the public domain.
And my last one is I just want to see a beam struggle against Goku and Godzilla. I would have to make it composite Godzilla so that he has a chance. So
Yeah.
combine all the versions.
Yeah.
So he has all the feats from all the Godzillas, including the comics, which get a little absurd, but
So my number 5 is Spyro.
Spyro's a pretty good one.
My number 4 is from Fables. And if you worry about Fables spoilers, abort now. But the main villain, like the ultimate big bad of Fables, is Geppetto and his puppets. So
That's pretty cool.
yeah, it's super cool. So I want to see Geppetto and his army of wooden puppets take on Godzilla. Not the ones that have sex though. The soldier ones. The puppets that have sex freak me out. So not them.
There's puppets that have sex.
Yeah, they're sex puppets. I saw this Beck showed me this article yesterday about a kid and his dad who were hiking in the woods, and they found what they thought was a body, and turned out it was a sex doll. They called the police.
That's pretty funny.
It's
Like, what do you do with one of those once you're done? Like,
you throw it in the woods.
like there's some dudes who will take and refurbish them, but I'm like, could you imagine buying a refurbished one?
Nope. I'm sure that's probably a purchase I'll never make, but if I do, it'll be brand stinking new.
You know, there's a lot of my coworkers that are always surprised when I say that I don't have one of those. And I'm like, they cost like $2,000.
I know, they're super expensive.
I was like, unless it's gonna make me breakfast in the morning, that's
Well, then
too
I would
much
buy
money.
it. Like,
Yeah.
if it's making breakfast, I'm buying
like
it.
when they create sex androids that can like functionally do chores for me also.
You mean slaves?
Yes. They're not slaves if they don't have free will.
In Star Wars, the droids are sentient, but they're still slaves.
Yeah. We just won't make these ones sentient. They'll just also be able to cook.
Well, they're not programmed to be sentient. It's just that droids who don't have a regular memory wipe
Develop sentience.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I did 2. My number 3 is the... what's the flying buffalo thing from Avatar?
Oh, the flying sky bison.
Yeah, what's its name?
Appa.
Appa. Okay, Appa versus Godzilla.
Okay.
That one's for the kids.
I think you'd like Avatar.
I've seen 20 episodes of it. I've just never seen them consecutively. Like, I see an episode here, an episode there, because Emma and Drake have watched it through like 4 or 5 times, and I just see pieces here and there.
You would love Toph. Look at that over there.
I like Sokka. Toph is the blind girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like her too.
I love Toph.
I basically like all of them except for Aang.
I also like Azula, but I like toxic women.
Yeah, I do too. I'm cutting that out. So I did 3. Number 4 is, or no, not my 4th one, which would actually be my number 2, is Cooge.
Cooge?
Cujo.
Oh.
If he bites him, will Godzilla get rabies? And then I want to see Godzilla with rabies.
Like all that froth at the mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
There's one that I expected you to have that hasn't shown up yet.
I did not prepare for this.
Yeah.
Until you said something, I completely forgot about it, which is bad because it was my idea.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
And then my final one is you.
Me versus Godzilla.
No, that's not fair.
I can take them. I expected you to have like Vader.
Okay, Vader.
Vader, like the Force against the Godzilla blast.
I mean, it depends. Like, here's my actual answer, and it's going one step further than that. Starkiller versus Godzilla.
Okay.
That's the one I want to see. Darth Vader's Secret Apprentice, Starkiller versus Godzilla. Final answer. Before he becomes sympathetic for the rebellion and
he starts throwing rancors at Godzilla.
he pulls Star Destroyers out of the sky and like impales Godzilla on the Star Destroyer.
Godzilla's pulling them out.
And no, Godzilla. Then he becomes Olaf and goes, "I've become impaled." Okay, this episode has gotten away from us. Okay, question for the listeners. What kaiju content would you like to see us cover? Because we are thinking about doing some more kaiju-related things. Daniel is a huge fan, and I am a moderate fan, so definitely something we're interested in doing. For further reading, if you're into kaiju stuff, recently released book, The Kaiju Preservation Society by John Scalzi. It's more of a sci-fi comedy but it's horror adjacent because it's all about giant monsters. Highly recommend it. Super funny. John Scalzi is one of my favorite science fiction authors. Super good. Do you have any non-obvious kaiju content?
No.
Godzilla movies. Those are pretty good.
Giant monkey.
Giant monkey. That's another. There's a Treehouse of Horror with. There's a King Kong one.
Yeah, we should do that.
Where Homer's King Kong and Marge is the girl from King Kong.
She's the girl.
She's the girl from King Kong.
Nobody cares about anyone but Kong in that movie.
He picks her up and uses her as a Q-tip and puts her blue hair in his ears to clean his ears. It's gross.
It's better than what he could have picked her up to do.
I'm sure they wanted to do that, but it's not South Park. All right, upcoming on the Horror Babylon this Sunday, we are wrapping up Dracula coverage with the 1992 controversial classic Bram Stoker's Dracula with Gary Oldman.
I love it.
Daniel loves it. All right, thank you. This show is brought to you by our patrons, Abigail, the First Breaker of Chains, Mother of Dragons, and
Logan,
the Full Metal Patron. And this episode was specifically brought to you by our $19 tier patron, Four Horsemen Comics and Gaming. Check them out at the Morgantown Mall in Morgantown, West Virginia, or at the Mall of Robinson in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and say howdy to Ronald III, the eater of chalk.
I can still taste the jelly beans.
Oh, I know. Goodbye.
Bye.
Stay scary. That's
Stay
what we
scary.
say.
Yeah.
Stay scary. Bye.
And now for the obligatory socials. Please like, share and subscribe. Follow Daniel at dstarsick on Twitter. Follow Ryan at Darth Damio on the Bluebird app. You can find the podcast on Twitter at HorrorPod69. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Slasher, and Goodreads. Become part of the Disturbed community by asking for the Facebook group and Discord links. Send dick pics to the Horror of Babylon podcast at gmail.com. Support the show at patreon.com/the Horror of Babylon. In closing, you can let your friends know that the Horror of Babylon is available on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Audible, and all other major podcast apps. Stay scary.
Oh no, they stomped on
Dean Koontz.
Oh no, they stomped on Bambi. Oh no, they stomped on
Dean Koontz.